Hey everybody, my name as always is JJJ. I am still JJJ doing another Eye of a Samurai video, and this time I'm here with, I believe he is the most successful, I apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you are now the most successful Astaroth player potentially in all of Soul Calibur history. We have Clob here with us.
More successful than, say, like Semi, I think.
I mean, I honestly don't remember a time where we had a multi-major winning Astaroth player. I mean, you obviously know better than I do, but traditionally speaking, I find that Astaroth is fun, and in certain games, SE2 comes to mind, he is quite powerful, but he's typically a character that is not... He normally relies on hard reads, and he has very polarizing matchups, which is not really conducive to winning an entire tournament. You normally need somebody with more consistency than that, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. He just works for me. I don't know. The character works for me.
He certainly has a lot higher damage, and I guess I feel like command grabs are probably... They were obviously stronger in previous versions of SE6, but SE6 in general, command grabs are about as strong as they've ever been, with the meter gain, with the frame advantage, stuff like that.
Yeah, right damage.
Yeah, obviously, like the fantastic damage, too.
Added.
But yeah, this is the second major win that you've had. You also came in second place at final round pre-quarantine, if I remember correctly. Yeah, final round just happens to be Lola's tournament. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But we have you against Incendiate, this was the winners finals, I believe. And so this is 3 out of 5, and this is the second time that you've played against Incendiate in a pretty far in a major tournament. The first one that you won was Winter Brawl against him in the grand finals, where he played Xianghua, if that's correct.
Yep.
Which Incendiate is pretty well known for playing a variety of characters at this point in tournament. Were you under the impression that he was going to be playing Geralt the entire way?
Yeah, when I saw... Because I played him in casuals pre...
Sure.
Part of me credits this towards the win, honestly, was getting to play him in casuals on Friday. When he played Geralt, I was like, okay, there's a chance he might play Geralt, and Linkors told me that, he was probably going to play Geralt this tournament. And then when I saw him, and I heard from other people, when I went to play pools, that he had been playing Geralt that day, I'm like, okay, he's probably going to stick with Geralt the whole tournament.
Yeah, that seemed to be the thing that he wanted to do this time around. Were you more or less comfortable going up against Geralt than you would had he stuck with Xianghua?
So, usually I'm more comfortable against that character. I've played Linkor's Geralt a lot.
Sure.
And what was I going to say? So, this character, I don't know, when I played Jordan's though in casuals, I was a little worried. I was like, okay, this isn't really, because two people can play the same character, but they can play them vastly different. And his was, I don't know, I was struggling a bit against it in casuals.
It takes a lot to get used to. I've now played against Jordan's Geralt, and, in tournament, I am, I think, 3-0 against Geralt. I've always considered Geralt to be Amy's easiest matchup, and Geralt's hardest matchup to be Amy. Now, it's gotten a lot better since Amy got that last batch of nerfs in the last patch. But I played against Jordan's Geralt at random NLBC, and I think I got destroyed. I was at the end of the set. I was like, wow, I guess that's the end. I got blown away. And there was not he has an oddly aggressive Geralt. I find that he takes full commitment bets, and he's able to create a certain level of frame advantage with the character that kind of doesn't exist. It's kind of weird to see a character who really doesn't have a lot of frame advantage put me in situations where I feel like I have to block.
Yeah, I know what you mean. One thing I'll tell you about this character for me, though, when I found in casuals, and I kind of made up my mind to do this prior to going into top 8 if I had to fight him, was I am not going to use, and you'll notice it in this set, is I really hardly ever soul charge as much as I usually do, at least even in this top 8, because I found this character, if he catches you just trying to step with a 4A, or God forbid he makes you whiff and you lethal hit 4B, you're eating a 30 your health.
Yeah.
It gets taken away. And all he has to do is kind of step guard around, or read your timing with a 4A. and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk.
And it's not even 4A is quote unquote unsafe, but with Astaroth, you're not really looking at a significant block punishment anyway. It must be really difficult. Also, like,
yeah, no, it is. It's annoying. Like, I can never punish that on reaction. Like, on a good day, sometimes, like, once in a blue moon, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. This game is riddled with a variety of moves that are quote-unquote unsafe on block, and yet you go to try and punish them, and whoops.
Yeah, or it's just like, okay, this move is, like, minus 16 or minus 18 on block, but it's a single-hit move that comes out pretty quick. And if you're not really, like, anticipating it prior, you're not going to get the punish. It's kind of like Mitsu 6A plus B.
Yeah, the one that I think about is Siegfried B6. Is really, really difficult to block punish appropriately.
What is that on block? Oh my god.
It's 14.
Safe?
I think, right?
Really?
Somebody in chat can disagree, but I'm pretty sure it's 14.
Wait, oh yeah, B6. I was thinking what his normal neutral B is in this game. That's the old B6. That's why.
Yeah. The back when B6 was like a move that you would see all the time back in 5.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. That move is. Yeah. Now that I can picture the move you're telling me. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that's really another one.
I imagine not using Soul Charge is also incredibly difficult, seeing as how I think that is more so than most other characters. I think Astaroth relying on his meter gain and his Soul Charge game is normally pretty pivotal to his game plan. How do you try to... I guess you just play neutral a lot more often? I mean, Geralt is not exactly the highest damage character in the game when you're outside of Soul Charge, right? So I guess the idea is just to consistently play neutral and keep out against the character and out-damage him with your pokes. Would that be the correct way of trying to go about this matchup for Astaroth?
I wouldn't say not neutral, but like just out-damage him, yeah, like, because few characters can keep up with Astaroth in damage. Like, if you're landing your throws and they're guessing wrong, even if they're guessing right and you eventually get 6k lethal hit and you can just threat with that, like you're going to be ahead of them in damage. Like, even if you're getting hit for a while, you land a few throws, you make a few good reads, you will be back in there.
Yeah, Astaroth is never out of the match, even if you eliminate a Soul Charge.
Yeah.
But alright, why don't we get into it? So again, this is the first match, Incendiate playing Geralt on the left versus our guest Clob playing Astaroth on the right. Immediate 6A.
Yeah, you're going to see a trend with this game is I'm going to be really ballsy and if I think it's going to work, I'm going to try it until he shows me it's not going to work.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense, right? Because I find this even with a character like Amy, is the fact of the matter, okay, well, forward grab Oki is about as good as it gets.
I thought it would work. I was like, he's not going to duck this. I'm going to do it again.
And it's really just a matter of, like, Geralt's damage overall is just really low, and so you can feel more, shall we say, cavalier with your reads, because the punish that you're going to be eating is just simply not that high.
Well, his damage, no, I don't think his damage is too low. I mean, like
really?
Right there, he gets 6 BB with the meter burn 6 BB, and that's like 60-something damage.
Yeah.
Like if he ducks a throw and he does that every time as the punish, like that's pretty solid.
I think he's eaten every forward grab so far.
Yeah.
Oh, he dropped a portion of his combos so you could get better Oki. That's something that really only somebody like Incendiate does with this character. Not like there's a lot of people who are still playing this character, but still. Oh boy.
He's friggin' lose like a third.
So okay, he's flashing blue now, meaning he has the 6/6 BB lethal hit. Not exactly the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, I got lucky in this set. He never got... Oh, that's an annoying move.
Yeah.
You're going to see that come up in a couple of instances. That's
one thing sure. He's very adamant about backturn P plus K.
Yeah. No, it's good. A lot of range, like with 30 or health, if it hits.
That follow-up, making it less unsafe.
Yeah. One thing I wish I had done better in the set was kind of like called that out when he was backturn more.
I see you're doing a lot of the 6/6B after 4K. Yeah, trying to do a lot of that. So it seems like the option that he chose in that spot, which was just 4K on its own, armor that's basically the only option that beats 6/6B in that spot, right?
No, there's one more he can do, and you'll see it later in the set, is you do the sidestep stance, and you can make it whiff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that,
actually. That's actually the optimal counterplay. You get, if you don't have meter 3B, and if you have meter, you can CE it, which you'll see later in the set he does. One thing, like, but yeah, 6-6B was like my counterplay to that. That, because it beats 3, it beats the A, beats the B, beats the K.
Yeah, it beats a lot of options for a lot of damage, so that's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, like 75 damage.
You,
Guaranteed.
you can already tell that that you've automatically gotten him ducking because he ended up blocking. You ended up blocking 3B, putting him at minus 14, and immediately ducked. And this is a question that I have for you as an Astaroth player from a non-Astaroth player, is that how do you deal... Because it's really all or nothing with Astaroth, it seems like. I mean, you throw out grabs and you hope that they work. And how do you deal with somebody who has that level of active defense, where they're comfortable ducking because your block punishment is so bad? They're more willing to duck at a lot of spots that you're not used to. How do you make the kinds of I don't even know if you can answer this question, but I'm just genuinely curious. How can you make the reads that you need to make against players like this who are willing to duck at all kinds of crazy times, sidestep at crazy times, and corral them into a position where you can finally get the grabs that you need?
Well, I mean, usually, like, you'll see, like, there I should have punished. Like, usually, like, after a 3K, or, like, situations, like, there are certain situations where you can't step G or step 2G things. You have to just take the mix-up, like, mid or throw. Like, and that starts at, +6. +6 is where step duck won't work against throws. So you can kind of force that there. Like, if I get, like, a 1B hold, I can limit, his defensive options. Like, you can't use step G or step 2G. You have to either try to hard step a bull rush, but then I could do Bulba, or then I could throw you.
It just seems like such an intense mix that was just... Again, the all-or-nothing nature of Astaroth is something that I've always found so difficult when I try to play him. If you've ever seen my Astaroth before, it's not impressive, but I have a lot of fun playing him.
Yeah. Yeah, I popped there because I'm like, okay, you know what?
Well, yeah, at that point, there's no damage. Like, the damage that he gets out of his soul charge options is negligible at that point. You're dead to whatever.
Yeah, and also I just want to, like, let me get him off, reset neutral, try to do something. Try to see if I can land something and salvage the round.
Yeah, so you ended up losing that round. Are you the kind of person who tends up trying to get, like, takeaways from a match that you lose to try and, like, adapt to it later on? And if so, like, what are some of the things that you noted in the first game that you're now going to try to use for the rest of the set? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think the one thing I tried to make sure I was doing in the set was when I saw him do 4K into the Quen charge, I was like, make sure you react with 6-6B. And I don't know, another thing, I'm trying to think what it was more like, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I didn't really play. I don't know what to say about that game, honestly. I think the main thing was to do 6-6B more, like when I see Quen charge, and just kind of play my game, make him play my game.
It's a little bit more proactive.
Yeah. Also, just more throws. Like, you're going to see, like, he doesn't really... This whole top 8, no one really fucking ducked as much as they should have. I feel like I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of people who have the same level of active defense the way for instance, like Linkors would have or something.
Yeah. It's... Another thing is, like, people, like... I think it's because it's, like, top 8, you don't expect someone to do... throw you just a bunch of times. You're like, oh, he's not going to do the throw again, or he's not going to throw me this much.
Surely not this time. Yeah.
Like he's not afraid. Like, he knows, like, if I duck the throw, I get, this punish or whatever. Like, I'm like, no. And I kind of use that to my advantage. People thinking I won't do it.
Oh, is he dead?
I always forget. Dead. I just want a positioning.
Yeah.
Just gonna pop here.
Is there ever a point where you're worried? I know he doesn't really do it all that often, but, like, is there ever a point where you try to, like, stop your pressure because you're worried about Geralt's parry? Oh, that sucks.
There were some times I thought about it, and usually my way to deal with that is PT.
Sure, okay.
Like,
Yeah, makes sense.
Really good against that.
Yeah. Wow, what a series. That was pretty good.
Yeah, going back to that, like, watch, like...
3K,
going back to
3K.
the whole thing where I say, like, watch. And then I go for a throw there because I'm like, you're not going to press something immediately.
Yeah.
No one presses. This goes for a lot of people. A lot of people don't do, like, a fast option immediately after a 3K. I don't know if it's because it forces crouch or what the deal is, but that goes for a lot of players.
That I'd be willing to bet. Yeah, it's either sidestep or hold it. That's basically what everybody does post 3K. You're always just a little bit late on that 6-6B. It always ends up as, like, still when the armor is active.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that pretty much beats it. So if he
Wow.
does the empty punch charge.
Just want to go back to that range on that 6A.
Yeah.
That was insane. even
Yeah,
for
no,
even for Astaroth 6A, that was across the screen.
yeah. So
Okay,
at
so we
top
end up
here,
slow
I'm
tracking
like,
here.
I kind of could feel I could take the game.
Yep.
I think I do here, actually. Yeah, no, he tries, after this, he tries to get up and, like, go for
Oh,
the
that
meter burn
was
throw.
that's a
No,
bit
I mean,
ambitious, I
it was
think, from
ballsy.
Incendiate there. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
he didn't need
No.
to go. I guess what he was under the I would have to ask him, but my guess is he was under the impression that you would stop your pressure because you'd be worried about parry. And so because of that, you were going to walk up and wait and pause to do something slow. And that's why he
Yeah.
went for the grab. But even then, it's a relatively easy throw to... It's not like it's a command grab or anything. Or is it a command grab? Does he get +4
No,
after that? I don't think he does.
no, he's not. Is he actually? I don't think so.
I
Maybe if
honestly
you're
don't
soul
remember.
charged. I don't either. I don't think he is either. But I mean, if he had landed that and I had guessed wrong, I would have been, that would have been the round for him.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, but back to the parry thing. Like, honestly, the only time I really feared it is if my back is to a wall or a ring edge.
Right.
Because then the damage is a lot more. Otherwise, the damage isn't all that crazy.
So we started on one of the most neutral stages you can possibly have, and now we're going into a totally non-wall and all ring-out type stage. Are you more comfortable or less comfortable on a stage like this against Geralt?
Oh, well, I'm more comfortable. I'm happy in this matchup on this stage.
Because you don't have to worry about like 4KA wall combos?
That, and also I think Astaroth has overall better ring out game than Geralt.
Okay.
I think he has more to worry about on this stage than I do. There again, no one presses a fast stop.
I guess it's tough because there we go. There's the 6XP. It's tough because
There it is,
Geralt,
yeah.
he is an I-12 character, but a lot of times you can see he doesn't really use Geralt AA all that much.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that I feel you can definitely tell from Incendiate. You probably caught wind of it too. When it comes to the first round, he is significantly more interested in impressing Reversal Edge. I find
Yeah,
that
that's something.
yeah, he's
That was something.
because Geralt
Yeah.
doesn't really have any kind of damage when he has no meter. He's much more adamant about you. He really doesn't use Reversal Edge all that often outside of the first round.
Yeah, that was something Linkor's pretty much said to me, like when he was prepping me for
Okay,
CEO. He said the Jordan tends to use RE like a lot early on
Yeah.
to make meter, which makes sense. You
Yeah.
want meter for Irridan, you want meter for just more damage, your meter burn throws, your 6 PB hold, that kind of thing.
Yeah, not non-meter Geralt is probably like the weakest character in the game, like the least amount of damage in the game, something like that. So I can see it.
Probably right, honestly.
Yeah. 2-2B is basically the only time where A plus B is still a force block, I think, right? Except for maybe a few
Yeah.
post-GI situations.
No, not anymore. Even post GI,
Yeah.
most characters are able to step it after the nerf, which kind of sucks. But it's still very hard. A lot of people can't do it. So PT, like that throws him off a lot. Like more so after 4 on block, like because he's waiting for like a whiff.
Mm-hmm.
He told me he was kind of like waiting, and the
Okay.
startup of it and the way it looks, I guess, kind of throws him off.
So
Makes him think I whiffed something.
it's kind of like he thinks that you're whiffing. He's looking for animation, but because PT is so slow, it'll still like basically catch him attempting to whiff punch, which is what happens here. I think he does sidestep 6BB
Yeah, he's looking
plus
to punish
there it
me
is.
for whipping something, but no, it was PT.
Oh man, I feel like that trade could have been a lot worse for you.
Yeah, no. One thing that he does that a lot of other Geralts don't do is the use of 1B.
Yes,
Normal
yes,
1B.
yeah. He's very adamant about that, which is tough to do because, this is, especially in the meta that we're in now, which so heavily revolves around step duck. 1B is not really a vertical that tends to track all that often. I'm sure people could show me a bunch of clips of the move tracking, but overall it's a pretty linear move, and you can really get blown up from that. 2-2B, I would assume, is like the main way that Astaroth would be able to blow somebody up or something like that.
But you saw if he hits me, so that was supposed to be back turn B plus K. I was trying to get a back turn there. But I got that and it worked, so.
We do have a question from the chat saying, well, first of all, it turns out that the Geralt command grab is +6 on break, just like all the other ones. But it's funny, I never really thought about the fact that the meter burn grab
You
is
don't
a
see a lot
command
of
grab.
other Geralts use it, honestly. You don't really see, like...
But then also we have the question, is Asta 1B guaranteed force block after his after the setup that you do for like what is that 11BK or is that 99BK after the back command grab?
Back command grab? No, it's not. You can definitely like you can tech forward and step it, or tech forward, get up RE. But again,
yeah, I think he's talking
it's
about
just really
here.
good if they. Yeah, so no, it's not guaranteed. Like
Okay.
he can tech forward and sidestep it there, or he could tech forward, or just get up. I think just tech any direction in RE. He might have tech
Okay,
forward
sure.
there in RE, but
But
it's
effectively,
not
tech
guaranteed
forward
there.
is the main way that you have to do it. It's just so you don't find a lot of people who are interested in teching forward against Astaroth.
On that situation, no.
Yeah.
But again, like it covers a lot of options there. Like it covers if he stays on the floor, he gets hit. If he gets up, he has to block it if he didn't RE.
First time we've seen parry. I think he just glowed
There it
green,
is.
so he's going to have 1B
And then
lethal.
look, like, I mean, that's not that much.
Yeah, it's a chunk.
No, it's a chunk, but I mean, I'm doing a lot more if I'm hitting him. That's why I'm like,
I believe these are
Unless I'm
actually
getting wrong.
fake combos. The B plus Ks in the middle here. I think you can tech to the side on these.
Really? I thought that was guaranteed.
I might be lying, but I feel like that's actually a fake combo. It's like a dead trap kind of thing. I apologize if I'm leading you astray.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not.
No worries. Something to check.
Do you find, kind of what you were talking about is that you're not really using Soul Charge, and that's true. We've basically only seen situations where Soul Charge... Okay, Nathan in the chat is saying that the B plus K is fake in those kinds of setups. You can see the same thing when he does back turn B plus K. You can just tech to the side.
Oh, damn it, that was fake.
Yeah,
oh my god.
It's good that we did this. It's good that we did this. Now you know for later. It's always one of those where like the second you... Because obviously by the time you see the animation of the B plus K, it's too late. And so it's just one of those eye roll situations, and then you just have to tech, which obviously makes it a little bit harder to deal with 1AA, because then that turns into an actual quote-unquote combo and stuff like that. But back to what I was going to talk about. You had mentioned how you were not really interested in using Soul Charge all that often, which makes sense, considering what the character is like. So, in that case... You also inevitably have to deal with the potential of Incendiate using 1AB as a lethal hit when you have both meters. So you might want to try and use meter in a different way. If that's the idea, would you be interested in trying, like, during this set, are you more interested than you would be normally in trying to get, like, a whiff punish CE or something like that? Like a way to use the bar? Or is that not really in your mindset? Okay, so it does actually
come up. I think in this match, actually, you'll see it come up in this. I think in this round or the next one, if he wins this one.
Oh damn!
See it.
I really hope it happens in this round, just so I look like a genius.
Well, yeah. Also, I was thinking like I could use it just as a raw mix-up.
Sure.
Which I don't usually like to do. I think you're better off using the meter for Soul Charger as a guaranteed punish, but.
Yeah, you got to find creative ways of using meter against Incendiary. We got an unfortunate whiff on the parry, but with a little punish. Yeah, once again, the exact same situation as we had before.
Yeah, if he stays on the ground, he's getting hit,
yeah.
Which is not so bad because he gets pushed out, but I mean, like, he sees me doing it, he tries to roll to probably avoid a throw, but then I do that, and that's +6.
I wonder if you had done PT... I wonder if you had done PT again in that spot, like, right off of, like, the second 1B hold, if it would have hit him again. Because he was ducking that time as opposed to sidestepping. Oh, wow, what a read. What a read attempt. I like that.
At this point, I'm like, why not? I'm not using it.
Yeah, at this point, you were just slugging. You were going hard read. Yeah, hard read again, hard read a third time.
Because you're not gonna do something immediate there.
And like, what is, if you really think about it, what's like the most immediate thing he's going to do? Even 6BB doesn't kill you there, so again, it's just trying to use like your high damage output and Geralt's low damage output to your advantage.
Yeah, and also like, what was it with that? What was I gonna say? Did BB? I mash. Oh my god, I gotta remember.
Somebody in the chat is asking, is low grab your optimal follow-up to 6A+B lethal hit? I believe that is not true.
No. You want to do, for guaranteed, you do 6-6B and you do A+G2. Or you can do 4-4B hold, but some characters can tech out of that.
Now, if what you meant was 6A+B counter hit, then technically speaking, 3K is still like the guaranteed, isn't it?
No, you don't get 3K.
Oh, really? You just have to go for a low grab and that's it? Okay.
Yeah, you're only +12 there. I think, because that came in Season 2, that follow-up counter there is, say, watch. And after this, funny thing is, he literally said to himself, right after I won this round, stop it. because he
Yeah.
realized he was. I heard him say it to himself.
He's getting a
'Cause he
little bit too
realized
antsy.
Well, yeah, no, because he realized what he was doing. Because he's looking for a whiff, and because he step ducked that there. He step ducked
Yeah.
that throw. Sometimes he would like step duck. Sometimes he would just step G. But PT, I remember in casuals, would really mess him up there.
It's really funny. This kind of reminds me of like tactics that I would tend to use. I've said it on my stream. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. My reactions are really, really terrible, and that's one of the things that a lot of people try to take advantage of. But just so everybody in chat knows, there are in fact ways to take advantage of people with really high reaction time, with really high reflexes, because they often will go for stuff. They will effectively try to show off that they are reacting to stuff really, really quickly, and they try to play very, very quickly. And so there are ways of delaying certain things, of baiting certain things out against characters and players with fast reactions to try and take advantage of the fact that they are they're very jumpy when it comes to their buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hell of a whiff punish by Incendiate. Whew, nice.
Yeah, probably could have gotten more there, but I was like, let me just do this because it's the fastest thing.
Yeah, maybe you could have gotten enough already, but that would be that would have been a hell of a thing to get that on an AA.
I kind of wish I had popped there, honestly. I had him like up against the wall. I probably could have just forced a situation where he had to deal with throw or bull rush.
It's a tough way either way, you know? It can be really tough. He dropped his combo again intentionally, so you could better get a better Oki situation.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that Incendiate isn't just kind of what we were talking about before. I'm surprised that Incendiate isn't just throwing out 4 A's more often, knowing that there's a chance that your punish is just going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm really like, look, see right here, watch him. Oh,
yeah, that's a
yeah. I wish I mean, I don't know that's fake, but still, I wish I had been more like.
It's impossible to know everything all the time. Yeah. CE didn't work, but again, I totally respect the decision.
I think that might have actually been, like, my brain wanted to do soul charge, but it's like, no, you're not supposed to do soul charge just to, like, stop the Quen charge. You ever had that situation where it's like you want to, like, do something else, but it's like Hardy doesn't, so you get, like, the wrong input.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also important to note, I feel like, so we're seeing a handful of these situations. It's kind of going back and forth. Sometimes Incendiate is getting, when he's ducking and grab, he's getting a punish with Wall Rising B. And sometimes he's actually getting the 6BB. So, do you ever take note of that kind of thing and judge, like, oh, he's actually only punishing me with Wall Rising B at this point. I can be more frivolous with my grab attempts?
Oh, yeah, this goes for any character, especially, or any player. Like, if they're not doing the optimal punish on a duck throw, I'm like, I smell blood in the water at that point. That's like, you go in and you don't stop throwing them. It's literally minimal risk for you.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's very similar to other characters where you'll throw out something that's minus 14, and then your opponent doesn't punish anything. And so you think to yourself, oh, okay, I can just keep shoving this down his throat. He's not going to do anything about it. But meanwhile, Astaroth's version of that is, I will still get hit, but I won't get hit for anywhere near as much. So it's like everything with Astaroth is just amped up to the 9s. The punish game that you're going to be dealing with, the amount of damage you're going to be getting when you're right, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is what you were talking about before, getting the 6-6B punish.
Yeah, and I wish he had done this more throughout the set, because I had been 6-6-being him a lot after Quen, and here I just pretty much concede this game. I'm like, I'm going to try for CE. He runs up blocks. I still have a shot.
At that point, I think it's like you activate Soul Charge, the burst wasn't in range, and then I think your choices at that point are what you did, RI, or like, yeah, I guess you don't even have the life to do an armor, do you?
That's true. I might not have.
Well, I guess the armor doesn't really work because Wall Rising B would have been.
I would have stuffed it.
Yeah. But okay, we're back to basically the same stage we were on that you won at previously.
Yeah, in game 3.
Yeah, I assume this is again much better choice for a stage than the one that you were on before.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't want to be in Fire Cube.
Good punish on 1AB. It's just kind of funny that, like, so when I think about Astaroth, at least in America, there's basically you and Rakuto at this point. And I can't think, kind of what you were talking about before when it comes to Geralt, the difference between Incendiate's Geralt and Linkor's Geralt. There's also a drastic difference between you and Rakuto. Do you find that there are things that, like, if you watch Rakuto play, I don't know how often you watch a stream or how often you've seen him in tournaments or whatever, do you find that there are situations where you see, like, the way that Rakuto plays and you think, nah, it's definitely, you should have gone, like, a different way? Or do you think, like, to yourself, like, oh, I can understand how Rakuto plays this matchup, maybe I should try to emulate it a little bit more? Do you feel like you want to separate yourself from Rakuto, or do you sometimes take things from Rakuto?
I take things from anyone, from all the Azeroths I watch. Like, I remember watching how he played, because I used to really, like, I still don't like this matchup, I think it's bad. I used to struggle against Xianghua, because, like...
Sure.
Like, you get, like, X's that will never stop AAing you no matter what. They could be -10 and they'll still just AA you and it'll work. And just having to, like, you know, play the way I play when you're near them can be a pain in the ass. But the Rakuto kind of, you know, he plays, like, BA, single B, kind of, like, you know, zone them out. And it would work. I watched him play, I think... Zeph in
Sure.
Mighty Mooks or something, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's actually really well in this matchup. And I was like, maybe I should try playing more of, like, you know, a defensive style against this character.
Are there any other Astaroth players that you can think of that people should try to look up? Doesn't have to be America specific or anything.
Player that doesn't get enough credit for how good he is, honestly, is Mitrox, man. I feel like...
Sure, yeah.
And I think that's just because he hasn't been able to go to events, but other than that, that guy's really good, like, especially in the mirror, man. That guy is a monster in the friggin' mirror.
Astaroth mirrors are always the most fun thing you can do in Soul Calibur, I think, for sure, other than slip out.
No, they are fun.
It's the only reason why I quote-unquote learn how to play Astaroth in all iterations of Soul Calibur, is just so I can play Astaroth mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 2-2. Once again, we're getting that 6
He goes back to doing... He doesn't do the... I guess he probably didn't think I was doing. Maybe he thought I would try it, because he told me later, like, you know, he was afraid I'd start throwing him.
Ah, okay.
Which is probably what I would go to. Yep, there's a whiff punish.
Yeah, but also at the same time, he kind of only counterplayed you one time. Like, if I'm in your position,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, the counterplay only happened one time, and it was when he had CE. So, like, he doesn't have CE in this position. He didn't have a bar when that happened, right? I don't think he did.
No, he did not.
Yeah, if he didn't have bar, honestly, yeah, if he didn't have bar, then, like, he would have to employ another level of counterplay, or he'd have to choose a different option. And so because of that, I would think, like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
But okay, we always appreciate an Astaroth CE whip punish, especially in a matchup like this where you don't normally get to use your meter all that often, and yeah, that's just 2 correct reads right afterwards. Well, technically 3 correct reads. You were correct about which grab, mid-low, and then which one of the 2 low that you need to do. Yeah. Like I always say, like, when you are wrong about a grab, you did effectively guess wrong twice. Every correct grab is 2 correct mix-ups.
Yeah.
Wow, he broke front there. Yeah, and you just immediately...
Yeah.
Was that your situation where you saw him break front the first time and you were like, wow, you seriously broke front there?
No, I wasn't thinking about that in the moment. I think,
okay.
honestly, I just went, okay, let me try this now. At that point...
In those situations where the opponent just, like, doesn't break the way that would kill them, I lose my mind, and this is a weak spot of my mentality, but, like, I immediately am like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna run right up to you, and I'm gonna do exactly the thing that's going to kill you, because if you're not gonna break appropriately, not gonna block appropriately, I'm just gonna shove it down your throat.
Yeah, no, sometimes I wonder, like, with people, and sometimes I do the exact same thing, like, I don't think I was consciously doing it there where I did front. Like, because I was like, okay, your back is to the wall, you're going to break, you know, or to the ring, you're going to do back. I think I just did it there in that scenario. And then I just ran up, I was like, okay, you're not going to duck here, or you might still be recovering, so you might not be able to duck. I'm not sure if he was able to duck in that situation, if he had recovered from
In
the parry.
that situation, no way. I would be very surprised if that was the case. Kind of difficult to thread the needle in that situation where it's like, because he is tech crouching during the animation of that parry, I believe. And so you kind of have to
For a
thread the
point of
needle
it,
to where
yeah.
he's now standing, but also he hasn't technically fully recovered from the parry, so you can actually get a great.
Yeah.
It's very similar to like how Astaroth like punishes soul charges that whiff with a CE, where you have to like thread the needle like just right in order to like not get hit by the burst, but also they can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just did the back. I was like, okay, like, if he breaks it, I'm +6, and he's going to be close to me, so it's like he can't. With the nerf now, like, where it's like, after command throws, they're a lot further than they were originally in the previous patch. Like, now they can just, like, backstep. Most characters can just backstep and avoid every option,
Right.
which is annoying, but his back was right on the ring edge, so, like, he can't, again, step duck a throw there because I'm +6 in his face. Or
Like his back is to the ring edge, so there's
the
like
ring
not
edge,
really a lot of places. We do have another question from chat. Clob, how do you deal with some of the sidestep characters? A lot of these options against Geralt, I feel like would be no good against, say, a character like Talum or Sophie.
You mean like tech step characters, that kind of a deal?
I think that's what they're getting at, yeah.
Yeah. Bulb is really good. 6A plus B. You have a character that does a lot of that. That's what I do.
I assume
One of
that's
the
what
moves
you
I
kind of
go
have
to.
to do against, like, Grow, is, like, one of the most prominent characters where that's the case, right?
Yeah, well, that character 6A is really good too. 6A.
Yeah.
6A is really good in that matchup. With that character, I tend to play like really minimalistic. I pretty much just like I try not to do PT. Well, depending on, I'm so like accustomed to like the icy chains kind of grow where it's
Sure.
like you 6A at every chance you
Yep,
get.
yep.
And like if you do PT, like he's still gonna beat you even if you hit him with Bull Rush.
Yeah.
Even when you're +12, he'll still do it and it'll get around. God, that move freaking gets around like friggin' if you hit them with Bull Rush and you do it, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Bulba's basically the only thing that Astaroth has in that spot that can employ a level of frame advantage against
Yeah.
Grow 6A.
Yeah. Or like I was saying, like a character like who I guess the guy they're talking about, like Tom, like his characters who have like a move that does a tech crouch out of a step, like Tom 2-2A, like yeah, Bulba. Or
Bulba's
crouch
the way to
throws
go.
too.
Sure.
Yeah, or crouch throws too. Like that's how I deal with if you're dealing with someone who's like a serial step ducker after like 3K or like just in general, like they do it in neutral, trying to get you to like whip a Bull Rush or a 6A when you're trying to come in. Like that'll get them to stop. And it recovers so fast in this game, it's ridiculous.
Sure, yeah.
Like you have to either really be prepared for it, like know he's gonna do it, and even then you just get like BB at best as a whiff punish, unless you have like muted for CE.
But yeah, I think it's kind of weird. I feel like that kind of flew by. And that was not a short set. That was 5 full games.
Yeah. That was a full set.
But yeah, I want to thank you again for coming on. Again, somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the most successful Astaroth player that SC community has basically ever had. So it's really exciting to see. It's really exciting to, on a personal note, it's really exciting to see you have the level of success that I feel like you've deserved for a long time, ever since like the beginning of SE6. So I'm very happy to see that kind of thing.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay.
Hope to see you at more stuff. Any chance you're going to go to EVO? I know it's pretty far.
Nah, not Evo. The next event I'm probably looking at trying to go to is
Which one is it?
NEC.
Ah, okay. Yep, that's always a safe bet for us East Coasters for Soul Calibur. That's always basically like the biggest thing that the Soul Calibur community has going. Shoutouts to Big E for making that possible ever since SC5. But we will cut the video there. Thanks very much again to Clob and all the people in Twitch who decided to join me today. If you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, hope you liked the video. I'm not going to do the like and subscribe stuff because I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything. But thanks everybody who ended up showing up, and I'll see you guys next time when our guest will be a different person.
Damn, you had me waiting there.
Yep.